Alrighty, what is going on, everybody? My name is Blitzwinger, and of course, welcome on back to another episode of Blitzvillage. Hope you guys are having a fan-flipping-tastic day. And of course, before we get to today's episode, we always have to do a little bit of shout-outs to those of you that sent in some awesome submissions over to my Twitter page, which would be, of course, twitter.com/Blitzwinger. You can go ahead and send your submissions of your awesome Minecraft creations, and you might be chosen for an upcoming episode to be featured. So that being said, we will kick things off with Mr. Tom Bolton, who sent in a Buzz Lightyear to infinity and beyond. A very, very cool design indeed. Quite lovely. Thank you so much for that first submission of the day. And of course, right after him, we've got the one and only Matthew Spencer, who sent in a cool house. I guess it's more like a mansion because that place just looks ginormous. And it looks quite fantastic, so really great design. I really love how you've got the front yard there. That looks really, really cool indeed. Thank you so much for that as well. And then, of course, finally, last but certainly not least, from the Awesome Club, a very cool design, something that I haven't seen before, so nicely done on you, on your part, I should say. And that is, of course, an Xbox One / a PlayStation 4, because you could see the Xbox One quite clearly, but you could also see that right next to it, a little bit further in the image, you could also see a PlayStation 4, which is quite fantastic indeed. So thank you, all three of you, for such awesome submissions. And again, don't forget, if you want to be featured on an upcoming episode. Oh, whoa. Why is this not on peaceful? I just heard a spider. If you want to be featured on an upcoming episode, then of course, you can do so by sending me a submission over to, of course, the Twitter page. So that being said, let's get a rocking and rolling. My, oh my, what is that platform? I wonder what it could mean. So of course, we've got this awesome creeper statue, and I've been thinking to myself, you know what? I think we should also build a Steve. We should build a Steve design as well. I think that'd be kind of cool. So that's exactly what we will be working on, is building a Steve design, and hopefully that will turn out well. Now, I've got most of the blocks here prepared. I'm kind of thinking of making his entire torso translucent, just because I think it's going to be really, really cool. And I think that I'm going to make Steve more of a statue than like, you know, how the creeper is actually a building. You can get inside of his torso, inside of his head, in his legs and such. I don't know if we will do the same for Steve. Maybe we will, to kind of, you know, so that you could go through his translucent t-shirt. I think that'd be kind of cool, which is why I picked the cyan and light blue stained glasses for that purpose. But I guess we'll just have to see how it goes once we get assembling. That all being said, let me see. I'm going to need also some... I forgot to pick a gray clay, or a gray color, or a wool, or something, in order to use that for his boots. So I think we'll go ahead and pick this one here. And I'm just trying to think, maybe I want to do two different types of gray. Do we have another? Well, that's kind of a cyan. It's not really gray. I don't know. I mean, I could use one of the blocks, of course. The clay just looks good. That's true. Okay, let's use the light gray wool. Actually, is there another dark gray? No? Okay, let's use the light gray then. Alrighty, so we'll use clay and light gray wool for the feet. Now, in terms of positioning, that's another thing that I'm kind of undecided on still, is whether or not I want him to be pointing towards this way to kind of look over the town, or pointing this way to look over the town. But I think it would make sense. Actually, we could put him on an angle, but that would be really difficult, because then I would have to do like the legs like this, which would be a bit of a pain to deal with, to be quite honest. So I don't think I want to do that, actually. I think that would be very difficult to do and pull off properly. We could do a little slide, a funny slide, where you could slide from his butt. So it'd be like, woo, poop slide. Why did I just come up with that? Okay, so I think I'm going to have him staring this way as well, so that he's looking just where the creeper is looking. Or, yeah, I think so. No, actually, no. I want to have him... So he'll be looking this way, like this. This will be, he'll be facing this way. And then obviously his back would be facing that way, and the sides here and here. Okay, so that being said, let's begin. Now, I know that I said we will be building, of course, a Pokemon sprite, which we will do on the next episode, because what I want to do is I want to get started today on the Steve design, and then we'll do the Pokemon sprite on the next episode, maybe half of it, then we'll finish off, or at least get, obviously, a little bit more progress on the Steve design, and then finally we will finish it all out. We will finish the Pokemon sprite probably on another episode, because the Pokemon that you guys picked, I guess I could tell you already, so it's not big secret or anything like that. But of course, you guys chose just as I thought you would. You guys chose the one and only Charizard, who is quite a solid spouse. Which I mean, there's nothing wrong with that pick. That is definitely a very, 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 very solid choice indeed. So I'm gonna use the two different clays to kind of create the perception again. Some of you guys have asked me before, hey Blitzwinger, how do you decide which designs you're going to be building, how you're going to be building them, things like that. Well, the way that it works for me, at least, what I tend to do, let me just make sure that I'm doing this the right way. But the way that I tend to do it is, actually, I think it looked better the other way. I just find an image of the thing that I want to design. So in this case, it's obviously Steve. I find an image of that, and then I'm like, okay, well, let me just go bit by bit and figure out how I would design this thing. And then I do it live in front of you guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm gonna have to adjust the platform to fit him better. So that will certainly be something I will do. So don't worry about that. So how much was that? Was that 8 or 7? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But 8 should be already this. Okay, so hopefully this will work just fine. Okay, so I'm hoping this will be the feet, obviously. And then we get into his purpley pants, which is going to be... This is quite a strong purple color. I didn't expect it would be such a absolutely contrasting color, and it's quite powerful. As I'm looking at this, my eyes are going like, oh, dude, that's really strong. I'm having a hard time looking at that. And I'm going like, yep, me too. Okay, so now we're basically designing the pants. He's got the purple pants, I guess like the Hulk. He's been reading a lot of Hulk comic books, and he was like, hey, Bruce Banner looks really sweet in those purple pants. Why don't I rock those as well? I'm just trying to think whether or not I want to make... what I want to do, is actually make this dual. Because based on what I'm looking at, the picture of, like... This is just the default kind of picture of... what's his face? Steve. But I think that I want to make it about 2 wide. So that on the back, this is kind of what we're looking at. Okay, perfect. Now, I don't have a picture of him from behind, so I don't know how this is supposed to work. I've got 4, 5 up at the front. But what I mean by that is, I'm assuming that the boots would be back here, right? And then we'll keep a door open over here. So it'll be 1, 2, 3... on each side, right? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, perfect. And then we'll do double doors over here, which will be sweet. All right, so that looks great. Definitely getting some progress, so that's really nice. Let's go ahead and time set. Whoa, time set. Okay, here we are. Yeah, it looks quite lovely, I would say. Okay, I'm starting to like this purple color. It's quite energetic, and it's making me feel like I just drank an energy drink or something, which is quite cool. Okay, so now I gotta basically kind of decide how far up do we want to go with the pants. Obviously, we have to make them relatively quite long, considering that we made the shoes, how many blocks? 2? Well, actually, if we made them only 2, we could go actually not that high up. So, I mean, it's got to be probably at around about 12 blocks high, maybe 11 blocks high. And then we got to do that little Mojang logo in the corner. Got to pull that off, but I think we'll just do it how it's done on the actual design, which is to basically have... you'll see when we get there. It's really hard to explain. Basically, you're just kind of going to use a blue block to work with that. Okay, so... the idea with this was, the reason why I picked a lighter color up front is because on the actual design, it's a little bit lighter. It's a lighter tone that they use on the front here. So that's what I was trying to go with here, but now that I'm looking at it, I'm not sure if I like that. I don't know. Let me know. What do you guys think? Should we just turn this whole thing wool, or do we want to keep the two kind of different textures for the boots up at the front here? Okay, so now that we are... Wait, how many blocks did I do this? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. So we've got to do a darker hue for the knee pads, which will be basically kind of like 2 blocks like this. But those need to be a different hue. Is there a different color purple? Oh, really? Really? There is no purple. I mean, I could do this, but That's a glass. Ooh. Yes, that kind of looks purpley. I know it says blue, but it somewhat resembles purple, so I think that will work. Whoops. It won't work if I'm clicking the exact same thing. Okay, I think that might work. Okay, I think we need to go probably another layer higher, but it should work. It should certainly look quite good once we get it all aligned and properly positioned into position. Positioned into position? How could you be positioning into position? I don't know. That's a position. Okay, what are we at? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Man, my math is getting better. Not really. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and 1, 2. Oh, man, this is going to... Oh, wait, this should work. Right? Nope, that's not it. Is that it? Okay, I'm hoping that... I should have done 3 blocks apart here. That was my mistake. Okay, so this is his knees, which obviously symbolizes to us that we're about halfway. Whoa, look at the creeper. How creepy does that look? Why is the time changing? Or is it just that it's raining? That's sort of weird. I'm like, the creeper looks really intimidating right now, doesn't it? It's like, I am standing over this town like a titan from Attack on Titan. Which is a very, very good anime, but very, for mature audiences, let's put it that way. Okay, so... I could do a little bit of detail work over on the side, like just to add some more details, but I think that it's gonna overall be fine. So I think this was layer number 7, so this was layer number 8, so this is layer number 9. So I think after this one, we'll go 2 more up, which is quite far up. I mean, it's gonna be probably a little bit taller than the creeper if I go this high. I think that what I might do is I think I might be done here at 11 blocks. Let's see. Okay, well, if we are done here, then what I think I need to do is I need to bring those knees a little bit lower, maybe down to here. Maybe it's actually 2 blocks lower. I guess we'll just have to see. That's the thing. To me, a lot of times when I do Minecraft Creative, it's really just experimentation. Like, I don't like to take... Like, I know that you can find exact measurements for characters and things like that. And, look, for some people, if that's how you enjoy it, there's nothing wrong with that either. It's just that for me, I like to let it be kind of a very creative process where I get to kind of, improvise as I go along. I'm like, I don't really think that that's a good color choice, or that's not a good color choice, or this is a good color choice. And I really just kind of, test and try, and eventually arrive at a certain result. And hopefully, usually, I try to make it so that that result is something that I obviously would be happy with. So I think I'm going to just take off these, and then this would be kind of our little beginning of the t-shirt. Of course, that's that little logo, which on the toys is usually the Mojang logo, so that's pretty cool. Okay, so this will be the beginning of the shirt there, which is really good. Definitely good. Good stuff there. All right, so let me just do the wrap around on the pants. I'm just trying to think now if I want to have the pants go this far up. That's what I'm wondering about, because I almost feel like it would benefit from being 1 layer smaller, right? So it'd be like this. Yeah, I could probably even make it 1 more smaller than that. Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do. I think that's what I'm gonna do. Okay, let's fill that up. Whoa, careful. He's like, my t-shirt is growing to the side. I am brilliant. Okay, so let me see. Oh, wait. Oh, okay, I guess what I would have to do in order to get that is to take this down and then build that up, right? However, then I have to redo this in blue. Okay, I think that's much better, yeah. I think that looks far better in terms of scale, It works much better. Okay, perfect. That's really cool. Oh, wait, what am I doing? I thought we were going to do the t-shirt in translucent, which I think will look really cool. I just need to see which one works better. Oh, wow. Okay, they're very, very similar. Actually, let me just time set 0 again. Because I feel like maybe if it was daylight, I could tell better. Man, that's really tough to tell that that's blue though, right? Like, that's a little better, but it's really not that great. I just think it would be really cool if you could, you know, if the entire t-shirt is just done translucently. I think that would give it such a unique kind of look and perspective. So I think that's what I'm going to go with. And I think that this blue works well enough to where you can definitely see that it's blue. It's a very kind of small hint of blue, but you can at least tell that it is blue, which is something that I can't really say for the other design there, for the other stained glass, or because it's cyan, of course. Even though this is cyan as well, right? Yep. Okay, so I think that's going to look really cool. I'm very much excited about this now. And imagine if we did like a stairwell inside, and then when you go into the t-shirt, all of a sudden it's like translucent, and you're walking, you're like, whoa, it'd give it such a cool, unique perspective. Or we could do like the insides of Steve, where it'd be like you could see his heart and stuff like that. But obviously we wouldn't make it like look like a heart, because I don't know how the heck to do that. We would make it just like a typical kind of heart, you know, like where it's like you draw it like this, like half, almost like a half bracket and then another half bracket, kind of, you know what I mean? I'm trying to draw by showing you how, by moving the cursor, which is probably not working very well. Okay, I mean, like, you can tell that that's blue. It's light blue, but it works. I think that that's going to work, and I think it's going to look really sweet. Now, right next to here is, of course, also going to be where, right at the length of this shirt, in fact, is where the hands begin. And I've chosen to go with this wood here because it was the closest kind of hue towards the, what is it called? The, my goodness, why am I having such a hard time remembering the words now? It's the closest kind of look towards, you know, the kind of hue that Steve is by default. So, I think that it's going to work. Obviously, it's going to have a little bit of a texturing problem because it's going to obviously look like planks. And you'd be like, what? Why? But at the same time, I mean, this is a structure, you know what I mean? This is not supposed to be a ginormous Steve that is alive and walking around town and walking into the Walmart or Supermart or the Food Mart, and he's like, hello, may I please get some giant corn? And it'd be like, sir, we don't serve giant corn. In fact, you just destroyed our store, which would be problematic. So I think that works, especially if you go back, which is obviously where you would be able to see the design is going farther backwards. So I think it's going to work nice. So let me just see. I think that's the level, right? So we're going to make it obviously 6 blocks in length and 3 blocks in width. Because we don't want to make them ginormous. They got to be proportional to the body, obviously. Now, we could do something kind of cool here where we could, you know, make like little stopping points, actually, in the arms and keep them hollow. I think that would be kind of a decent idea, actually. So that's what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep them hollow for now. Because maybe we'll do something kind of cool here. Like a little rest point, you know, for the people who are walking on the Steve statue. They'll be like, oh, I need to rest. And then you could stop here. And it'll be like a little stop point where you could get yourself a soft drink or some snack or something like that. And we could obviously then take down these, let's say, down all the way. You know what I mean? So as I was saying, I think that would be kind of cool. Sorry about that. We just had some bad weather and electricity and stuff. Do not like bad weather. So with all that being said, we can definitely do that down the line. Again, I will definitely let you guys be involved in that process and make those types of decisions. So just use the comment section below to let me know if you guys would like to see something like that where we could do like a stairwell inside. Or if you have obviously some other creative ideas, definitely use the comment section below to voice your opinions and give me some suggestions and ideas. And I will certainly take them into consideration. So, with all that being said, I think we're at around the 19-minute mark anyways, and we're also about halfway done. I mean, we've built up the body and kind of the hip area, and now we're moving upwards, obviously, towards the torso and the head, which will obviously probably take another 1 or 2 episodes to fully complete. But with all that being said, of course, if you guys enjoyed today's episode of Blitzvillage, please smash that like button. That really does help me out a ton. Don't forget to send in your awesome submissions over to twitter.com/Blitzwinger, and when you're tweeting at me, you could do @Blitzwinger, and then I will be able to see your image. Now, usually what I try to do, just to send you guys kind of a way to know that I've acknowledged that you've submitted and you have been entered into the pool of submissions, which means that you will be featured at some point down the line, what I do is I will favorite your tweet. So if you saw me that I favorited your tweet, then it means that you're safe and your submission has been taken into consideration. Now, with all that being said, of course, guys, if you enjoyed the video, please smash that like button, share the video with your family and friends, favorite the videos as well, and of course, I will catch you all next time. Peace out. See you later, alligators. Thank you guys so much for watching and have a fan-flippin-tastic day. See you later, alligators.